Good morning, everyone. It's another beautiful October morning. It is currently 8:15 a.m., about 54 degrees on October 11th. And hopefully, if everything goes well, today will be the last day of bean harvest. It's gonna be really close. We got some beans left up over the hill. We're here at my house, and then we've got 90 acres left a couple miles west of here. Normally, 2 combines, no problem. But the reason why I say hopefully it'll be the last day is Luke had, I'll just go over here real quick while the semi's warming up. Got 4 loads to take in this morning. Dad just left with 1. I'm gonna leave with that. We got 2 on the grain carts. We'll get up here to Luke's combine. At about 6:30 last night. Noticed a little bit of an off sound, so I came out and investigated. And right here, for those of you who are familiar with the Case IH combines, is the, we call it rethresher, tailings, whatever you want to call it. There's a paddle here, throws the unthreshed grain back up onto the threshing system to get it rethreshed. That way we get that, make sure you get all the grain possible doesn't get thrown out in the ground. So it was just 2 bearings on there, pretty simple fix. So he took it apart last night, started digging into it, and then he had to get parts this morning. So he should be able to get that fixed, no problem. We've done it before on our old machine we used to have like this. It's really not that big of a deal. So as long as nothing goes wrong, he should be able to get it done this morning, and then we should be able to get these beans knocked out. But take this load in. Well, this 882 had just shy of a load, so this 1100's got a little dab left on it. Put the rest of it on there, take it in, and I'll see you guys when I get back. I'm back in the saddle today. Jonathan and I have been running the Dad's combine for the past few days. He's pretty good about letting us make sure we have a turn. I know there's some people out there who, that one person or 2 people, if they got 2 machines or whatever, they stay in that machine and that's what they do all year long. Which, hey, I guess if that works for you, that's what works for you. But we like to make sure and switch things up a little bit. Give everyone a chance to run something. So I just got done. The house is up there. Just got done going along the corn there, and I actually had a little bit on from last night, or Jonathan did. He was running it last night. Forgot to dump it off, so now I'm full. Figures, gotta wait on Jonathan to get back here with the grain cart now. So Oh well. Luke got his machine put back together. By the time we got back with that second load, he already had it back together, which is good. And it's now, well, when we got started about 9:30, about 9:50 right now. So 9:30 is a pretty good time to get started for beans. The humidity has been really low, which is good. So able to get started at a decent time really bumps up our efficiency. And there was a breeze last night. John and I were able to cut till about 11 o'clock since we were down to one machine. Took us a while to get everything filled up, but we got it filled up. So wait on Jonathan to get back here, and I actually think he's bringing my wife and daughter riding back with him so they can hop in with me. So get going on this. Got about probably 50 acres left here. Get this done, go over a couple miles to the west, knock out that 90, and we'll be done with beans, which will be good. And I think we'll just go get the corn head and start on the corn right there. We got 65 acres of corn right there. It's been really good weather and conditions for bean cutting. We basically really got going on like October 3rd. Josie. We basically really got going on October 3rd, and by then we only had like 300 acres, 350 of beans cut. And if everything goes well, like I said earlier, we'll get done today, which is the 11th. So it's been really nice. We've been able to really just walk through them, which is always good for beans because these are too dry really to be harvesting. They're about 8.5%, which is about 4 points too dry. But what are you going to do? There's no weather in the forecast, rain, so we can't be expecting to pick up any moisture. And the dews have not been that heavy in the mornings because it's been so dry in the atmosphere. So we're just going to get this knocked out. Just have to roll with the punches how we normally do. But we'll see how the rest of corn harvest goes. We've only got 50 acres of that done, so we got a lot to go there. But we might have a couple things up our sleeves to make that go faster as well. Got my co-pilot driving. This field's a little bit difficult for her to learn on because the bean height is so variable, so we're constantly having to adjust the reel. You can see we're going through a low spot here, so it's got green and stuff. Reel down. Got one little strip left. Luke's back there in the dust behind me, getting the rest of it, which is good. So we'll be done with this 122, get the heads unhooked, and then get on move to the next one. There's 90 acres over there, 70 of it's in one piece, and then another 20 is in another piece just up the road. It was the stuff that got planted last in the middle of May, very late. And it's very, very light timber ground, so not expecting the yields to be all that good, but take what you can get, right? So I'll get up here, get unloaded, and get this head taken off, get hooked up. Just got this 20 acres here opened up, down dropping or getting the trucks dumped, and then move back over here from the other field. I'm gonna eat my lunch, and then I'd say by the time I get that done, we'll be about right done with this field. It's wider than it is long, so by the time you get the end rows off, you got a pretty good chunk of it done, which is normally how it goes with smaller fields, but that's all right. Let's get this knocked out and go on to that 70. These beans actually aren't doing as bad as I thought they would. They're definitely not great beans, but they're not terrible either. Like I said earlier, this field was planted at the very, very last, and actually like 4 days after we got done with all the rest of our beans because it kept raining up here north of town, so we had to wait, and then we kind of got them in a little wet. So there's a couple spots where it didn't come up great, the planter got smashed in, and there's a couple low-lying places anyway. But I mean, it gets up to 80 in some places, and it drops down to in the 50s in other places. So it's give and take, but like I said, pretty impressed, especially for this quality of ground. You can see we're just trees all the way around us right here. So where we're going is even more trees, but it is what it is. Gotta take what you can get. Sorry, gotta get turned around here. Take what you can get. If you're making money, you're making money, so why not? But as you can see, you got this little bit left right here, and then we'll get moved on. Definitely able to cruise right along. We're pulling 85 to 90%. That was my grain tank full, but get that little strip, go dump, we'll be done. Got about 20-25 acres done here. This 70, which is good. 30 some of it is out here by the road. You see the road going along there. And then back up in there, we got to cut through the trees and get to the rest of it that's back up in the trees. And then that'll take a little bit longer than normal just because we got a lot of inroads and curves and stuff to go around. But it'll be alright. It'll let Dad be able to stay caught up trucking. Jonathan's in the cart, so Jonathan's got a cart at about a quarter mile to the road. But the beans won't be all that great, so he'll be able to stay caught up alright. These are actually doing a little bit better than I thought. I've been decently impressed with our poorer ground this year, especially at the planting date. Is really what's impressive is because I think it was like May, right around May 20th, 18th, something like that. So for that, being wet, late, poor ground, can't complain too much. So that's always good. But we're able to move right along, going 5 miles an hour now, which is good. Probably could go faster. It's only pulling 85%, but I want to make sure it's doing the head's doing a nice job cutting everything off. So I do want to apologize for not getting as many videos as last year out so far. Well, one reason is because John and I have had a pretty bad cough. I don't know, we had something in our lungs, whether it was viral or what, but we've been coughing for about 5 weeks now, and Jonathan's voice is not very good, unfortunately, and mine kind of comes and goes, but I think we're getting it whooped up now, so that's good. But we've also basically just had an uneventful harvest, which is good for us. I know you guys would probably like to see things break and whatnot, but uneventful is good. After today, we'll only be barely over half done. We've only done like 60 acres of corn, 50 acres in one field, and some inrows off some others. So we got a lot more to go, but we wanted to get all of our beans done, which is good. So stuff's liable to change in corn. Hopefully we don't get too late in the year doing that, but we should still be able to stay caught up pretty well. The extended forecast is looking decent, so that's our main thing we got to worry about is the weather. Can't go mud hogging too much. Back up in the trees now. Not terrible right here, but the deer damage is definitely more prevalent. Honestly, the deer damage on the beans has not been too bad this year. Compared to last year, it was really bad for whatever reason for the beans. I know, just driving by our corn, it's just the typical, they just knock out, quarter acre areas at a time, then move on and go on another little quarter acre area. So it's just the way it is with corn. They prefer corn over beans, I believe. Out in the middle of this shouldn't be too bad. Just like I said, right up next to this trees is where it's the worst. But Luke's going on one side of the trees, I'm going on the other. And this field is like the other one. Well, the one we were before the last one is wider than it is long. So depending on what we do, we may actually cut it at a really hard angle. That way we make our rows as long as possible just for more efficiency. It's kind of how I spray it. It seems to work out pretty well. But Still perusing right along. This ground back up in here is nice for the eyes to look at though. Get a little change of scenery instead of being out in the wide open all the time. You know, that's preferably the farm ground you want to have because it's much, much better. But get back up in here, you see quite a few critters. See lots of deer, usually a few coyotes. So you can kind of keep an eye out for deer sign and whatnot for those of you that are hunters. You know, even though you may not be able to hunt it, the landowners hunt this, but I still like looking for deer sign and stuff. So it's still really warm out. You can see him wearing pants, but don't know if I will be tomorrow or not. It's supposed to be like 80 today and 83 or something like that tomorrow. 3 degrees make that much of a difference? No. Am I a wuss? Yes. I don't know. I might just stay with the pants because after tomorrow it's supposed to cool down quite a bit. Be just in the right around 60 to low 60s and be in the mid 30s at night for at least 4 or 5 days, which would be good, and maybe warm back up a little bit. But that'll be good because that'll feel like corn shelling weather. I always like when it's cold or cooler shelling corn, makes it feel more seasonable. This dry weather was nice for helping everything dry down, but like I was saying earlier, it's almost too dry. But what are you going to do about it? Got to take what you can get and move on with it. There, I'm 3/4 full now, so get back up here in this corner. Probably wait on Jonathan before I cut down along the other side. It's just before 4 o'clock, and we got about 5 acres left, which is about what I was figuring. I actually figured we might be a little bit later than this, and then Dad and Luke were being a bunch of Debbie Downers this morning, and they were saying we may not even get done. I don't know what they were thinking, but not right, I guess. They also probably weren't expecting us to be cutting beans at 5.2 miles an hour, so that definitely helps a bunch. But looks like we're going to have a little extra than 1 full truck, so I'll have to do 2 little half loads, but that's alright. We can we go get the corn head, get it hooked up while taking that other load. Corn head's down the shop, so I'll have to drive down there and get it. That'll take 30 minutes. So get over here and get this last little section finished up. Just like that, 2024 soybean harvest is a wrap. Feels good to be done. Get a little bittersweet though, because you know we're half done with harvest. My favorite time of the year. But it's got to end at some point. Can't go on forever. That's how it is. So looks like I'm still waiting on Dad to get back with that last truck so we can fill it. But we'll go ahead and get these header carts heads set off on the carts, and then get the header carts hooked up, and then we're just gonna go right back to my house where we were this morning and do that corn there, last I heard. That was several hours ago, so stuff always changes. We'll see what the news is here in a minute. Well, got the corn head on just as the sun's getting ready to set. Meg just brought supper, so I'm gonna eat real quick, and then majority of this is going in the bin, so don't have to worry about the elevator closing. Straight up 6 o'clock right now, so we'll probably get a few loads shelled tonight and hop back out in the morning, but I'll eat some supper and bring you guys along. Up and rolling. Just got done eating supper. Had burgers and big old potato wedge fries and some brownies. So I'm full and ready to go for a while. It's now 6:40. Probably won't be going too late. Just like I said, we ran late last night, so kind of tired, honestly. We are going to the bin, so we can go for a little while, but I don't think it's going to be 11 o'clock again. Ooh, this corn's really dry. Yikes, 14%. It is what it is, I guess. 20% last time we were in it, but that was about 2 weeks ago. But at least we won't be getting docked on moisture when we're taking it out of the bin, huh? Even though we could have dried it down a little bit. But any of you guys saw the video where we first started out in this corn, it was stuff that did not have fungicide on it. Basically our only corn that does not have any fungicide, and it had a little bit of tar spot, and just overall wasn't quite as healthy. As you can see, it's not bad right here, but back along those ends and then right up in there, pretty ratty looking. We did have a pretty good wind come through a little while back. That's probably what did it. Nothing's laying on the ground, just the tops are a little blown out, and the leaves are kind of ratty, but still yielding exceptionally well. Now, here you go. Here's a really short spot. Still yielding really, really well, but I'm glad we're here getting this out. Hopefully we don't have anything else like this. Like I said, everything else should have fungicide, so that's good. We're definitely a big proponent of it for both corn and beans, but you can definitely tell on corn standability for sure. We're rolling right along. I don't know, Dad and Luke may have left. I didn't see any lights on up at the bin site, so John and I may just fill a cart and truck, call it a night. We'll see. At least get the ends off, that way tomorrow morning we can roll on. Well, I think that's going to be all she wrote for tonight. John's just there dumping a load. I'm going to probably get the leaf blower, blow this off a little bit. That way when the dew sets on, it's not as nasty in the morning. So, pretty tired from running late last night. And then I got to go inside and get a video edited and get it posted for tomorrow morning because I was procrastinating. So, yeah, got to do that. But, thanks for coming along, guys. I do appreciate you watching, and we'll see you at the next one.